Alright, welcome to the last video I'm going to do for now. So this one is the Ret Paladin DPS. So I wanted to just try this out for myself because I wasn't sure what I wanted to play yet. Let me reset these meters, go over what's going on here. So Red has one spec or build. Basically it's always the same. The only time there's any difference as far as I know is if you're not the one using improved Blessing of Might for some reason. Then you don't need to get these 2 points and you can put them somewhere else. But yeah, so it's the standard rep build, getting all the stuff you'd expect, skipping the PvP stuff. We go 15% more strength here in the prot tree, and we want to take increased seal damage, and then this is like a raid cooldown. It doesn't affect our DPS, but glyphs. Judgments deal 10% more damage. Exorcist does 20% more damage. And Seal of Vengeance grants us 10 expertise. And Seal of Corruption. So, good stuff. We also have Sense Undead. So this is good. It's just a free 1% damage against Undead, but the target dummy is not Undead, so it's not gonna count. In terms of gear, our expertise is a little bit higher than it needs to be, for sure. And our hit is a little bit higher too, but that's just the way that the gear worked out. We're using Shadow's Edge, so prioritizing Armor Pen. So we got as much Armor Pen as we can. And we're using the Tier 10 set. So Tier 10 set resets cooldown of Divine Storm, so you get to just Divine Storm a bunch, so you have a proc for that. And yeah. Using Abomination in a Jar and Death's Choice. So got this Bis list from online somewhere, and yeah, I'm using like the best in slot enchants and gems and all that fun stuff. In terms of auras, so Sanctity Aura is not in the game anymore. It's just like a passive. If you have any aura on, you get Sanctity Aura. So we just got this one on. We're gonna buff ourselves with Might, and we're gonna have Seal of Corruption on. So this is the one for raids. It does like a stacking kind of thing, and then once you're at max stacks, you deal like more damage. It's just good. And then we have 2 ways to get mana back here. So Divine Plea, 1 minute cooldown. It's basically just a free mana pot, so use it on cooldown. And because I'm a Blood Elf, I've also got Arcane Torrent. And the rotation, so the damaging spells is like really simple. There's 5. That's it. There's nothing else you cast as a Red Paladin in your rotation except for Execute phase. You'll be using Hammer of Wrath. But you don't execute on these, obviously, because they don't lose health, so we're not going to be testing that. And on the pole, we're just going to be using Avenging Wrath, because that's what you do. So, and there's a slight priority to what you want to use here, but basically you just use whatever's on cooldown every GCD. Prioritizing Judgment so you don't run out of mana, and then Divine Storm because you're going to be getting procs, so you want to make sure that's always on cooldown so you get more procs. Exorcist is a good one, and then followed by Crusader Strike and Cons. So yeah, let's try it out here. So everything's good, we're all buffed up. Damage meters are cleared. So yeah, we're gonna go in here and and I'm just gonna start using my cooldowns. Or sorry, my abilities. And I'm just going to preemptively Divine Plea, just so that's on cooldown. See, you get a lot of mana back when you judge. However, like your spells do cost quite a bit of mana, so you could probably go Oom if you're not careful, but it's very hard to go Oom as far as I've seen. It's not like Classic or TBC. Basically, you don't, like, you have a mana bar, but it's not really, doesn't really matter. So you can see we're at 6.1k damage. That's about what I've been getting every time I test. It's anywhere from like 6.1 to 6.3 sometimes, depending on how lucky you get with Divine Storm. Like, yeah, there, Divine Storm just reset twice in a row. Oh, there's 3. Oh, there's 4. So yeah, like it just depends on how lucky you're getting the rocks. Yeah, that's kind of it for paladin. Like I'd say it's boring, but I mean it's consistent. It's pretty easy. Anyone can do this. This is like I don't even have weak auras. You don't need weak auras to do this class's DPS properly. Like it's so simple. You have 5 things that when they're off cooldown, you just click. So if that's what you want to be doing for Wrath, then yeah, great. I mean, obviously there's utility as well. Like you've got bubbles and blessing of sacrifice and freedom and cleanse, and there's all kinds of stuff you could be doing during a raid encounter that isn't just DPS. But if you really are just a DPS player and you just kind of care about doing damage, then yeah, the rep paladin is very simple, and you're not going to see much variation between rep paladins. Like the DPS disparity between like the best rep paladin and the worst is just going to come down to RNG, really, on how many procs you get in a fight. And also, obviously, the way that parses work is that if a fight duration is very low, then you know, you're going to have a higher parse. But it just comes down to if you're with individual paladin difference here, like you're not going to see much. But yeah, like 6.5k, I like this is better than every DK spec I've played. So I mean, obviously I'm not playing the DK rotations perfectly, but like compared to this, because like anyone could play this perfectly. So there's that. Obviously that comes into play, and it is a private server, so who knows if the proc rates for different things are correct. But it seems to me like if I had to choose right now, like Rep Paladin is more damage than DK in every spec. So like that goes against what a lot of people are saying right now, which is that, you know, Rep Paladins are good, but they're not S tier. But you know, DKs are great, and I'm like, you know, I just don't see that. You can see I am getting low on mana. Now you would have consumables in a fight, and you would be getting mana back from totems and all kinds of other stuff. And at this point the boss should be dead anyways. Like we're going on 4 or 5 minutes here. It's the third Avenging Wrath I've done. But it's steady. Like the DPS is just like you put on the gas and you just don't take it off and you just go. Like obviously if you go, it's bad, but I don't think you can go. Like I'll try to go with you. I just don't think it can happen. And if it does, like I think you can always just blessing of wisdom or whatever, or for a little bit to get your mana back. If you have like a 10-minute fight or something crazy. Yeah, like I got very close to ooming there, and now my divine is up. So it's just like there's always something to give you mana back in rotation. My DPS hasn't suffered since the start of the fight. It's just steady 6.4k. So yeah, let's take a look at the actual spread of damage here. So Seal of Corruption doing the majority of the damage, like because that's a dot, and obviously every time you attack with anything, it's going to apply its attack. So that's like really powerful. Melee. And then Judgment, so like yeah, Judgment is definitely something you use a lot. Divine Storm, Crusader Strike, the dot from the thing, and then yeah, Cons is low and Exorcism's low, just because you don't get to cast Exorcism that much. It's every 15 seconds compared to everything else. And then yeah, like it's strong, man. Like Rep Paladins are strong, and there's really no downside to playing one. Aside from it's a little boring, I guess, because it's just so easy. But at the same time, dual specs in the game, so if you get bored of DPSing, you can heal or tank. And I know that ret paladins are very good in PvP in Wrath. So yeah, there's the paladin for you.